Hello, and thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well this evening. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into our story. Let me tell you about the night I should have died. I've been a backpacker for most of my adult life. Nothing fancy, just me, a worn pack, a reliable compass, and whatever trail calls loudest that season. But the hike through Timberland Pass last fall was the first time I felt hunted. Not by a bear, not by a man, something else. I've told this story a dozen times around campfires, and every time, people think I'm pulling their leg. So if you're listening now, alone, maybe in the dark, just remember, I didn't believe it either, until the trees started whispering. It started at the ranger station. Timberland Pass was a lesser-known loop tucked away in Oregon's Cascades. Remote, beautiful, and rarely trafficked. I checked in like always, signed the ledger, and made some small talk with the ranger. He was a grizzled guy, early 60s, chewing sunflower seeds and eyeing me like I was already a ghost. "You going solo?" I nodded. "People go quiet up there." I laughed, thinking he meant no cell service, but he didn't laugh back. "You hear your name in the woods? Don't answer it. That's not the forest talking." He wouldn't elaborate, just handed me a topo map, circled Timberland Pass, and said, "Be out by Sunday, no later." Sunday was 4 days away. I should have turned back. The trailhead greeted me with cool wind and the scent of pine. By midday, I was 5 miles in, surrounded by towering trees that swallowed the sun by afternoon. Everything was textbook: birdsong, fresh scat, creaking branches. But around mile 10, something shifted. The birds stopped singing, and the wind started humming, just barely audible, like a voice in the distance, too far to understand, but close enough to feel in your gut, like the woods were breathing. That night, I made camp near an alpine lake. Stars scattered overhead like shattered glass. I cooked, journaled, and crawled into my tent as the fire smoldered low. Somewhere in the night, I woke up. Something was walking around my tent. Not stomping like a deer, not padding like a bear, just soft, slow crunches, one at a time, deliberate. I didn't move, just listened. The steps circled the tent once, twice, then stopped at the entrance. I held my breath. Then, a voice. "Jake." That's my name. No one knew I was out here. I didn't move. I didn't answer. The steps moved away, fading. Eventually, the night swallowed them. But I didn't sleep again. The next morning, I kept moving. Pushed harder than usual. I just wanted to make the northern ridge, then double back early. But around noon, I noticed something strange. My trail markers had been removed. Someone had stripped the ribbon tags I left on branches. My backups for the map, they were gone. every single one. And then I saw it, far up the ridge, a silhouette, not an animal, not a ranger, tall, still, watching. It stood against the sky, just beyond the tree line. And as I stared, it raised its hand and waved. By dusk, I was descending through a gully when the fog rolled in. Dense, sudden, unnatural. My compass spun erotically. No joke. Like a damn horror movie cliche. Then the whispers came. Dozens of them. Layered. Repeating. Jake, don't go. Turn back. He's behind you. I turned in circles. Flashlight barely cut through the haze. Something brushed my pack. I ran. Branches clawed at my jacket. Mud sucked at my boots. I ran blind until the fog broke. And that's when I saw the cairns. Stone piles. Dozens of them. Stacked in a perfect circle. And in the middle, a second circle. Smaller. Just big enough for a person to lie in. There were fingernail marks on the stones. I didn't stick around. I hiked until I collapsed from exhaustion. At some point, I found an old growth tree, hollow at the base. I crawled inside to sleep, just for an hour. I dreamed I was buried alive, and I couldn't scream, because the forest had taken my voice, like it had taken the others. When I woke, it was pitch black, and something was scratching on the outside of the tree. Slow, steady, claw to bark. Then a voice, inches from the opening. Let me in. It was my own voice. At sunrise, I bolted. Didn't pack, didn't eat, just ran. The trail was gone, overgrown, warped. Trees I didn't recognize. Even the sun felt wrong. But then I heard something real. A whistle. Short, sharp, human. I followed it until I stumbled out onto the ranger station access road. Collapsed, mud-caked, bleeding. The ranger found me slumped by the sign and ledger. He didn't look surprised, just handed me a water bottle and said, "You made it out. Few do." It's been 10 months. I still don't sleep more than a few hours. I hear voices in the shower, see shapes in the trees outside my window, and I never hike alone anymore. Some things live in places maps won't claim, whispers that echo too perfectly, eyes that never blink, voices that call you by name. So if you ever find yourself on Timberland Pass and the wind calls out, don't answer, because it knows you now.